Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Anne-Marie Hoftailing, and I am the co-founder of Story Imprinting. And today I thought I would talk a little bit about distance learning and remote training. I spoke a couple of days ago about mindset. Maybe that was yesterday. I don't even remember. But at any rate, take a look at that, because I also think there are a lot of beliefs around sort of distance training, distance learning, remote meetings that are sort of like, they're boring, they're terrible, they're not as good in person, they're not as sort of connected, or they're low energy. And I really want to disabuse you of all of that. We launched Story Imprinting really truly at the top of the pandemic, and we weren't even sure we were going to have a business. Prior to that, all of my business was live. I traveled all over the world and I did live training and keynote speeches. And we had to move entirely online. And I am here to tell you that we have done a really conscientious, thoughtful approach to distance learning. Are we doing webinars? Yes. Are we using whatever platform a client has very often? Yes. Is sometimes what we're using Zoom? Yes. And here's what I want you to know: that you can have dynamic, didactic, energetic, connected learning. And I think if you approach this with the idea that it's going to be terrible and people will hate it and it feels like punishment, then that's kind of what it's going to be. What I encourage you to do, whether you're doing your own training internally or you're hiring an external vendor such as ourselves, is really think about the design, really think about the people delivering the content. It is the same as when you're doing it live. If you're just reporting information, if you're just reading notes, if you're just reading the deck, I'm going to tell you right now, it's real boring and nobody wants to watch it because it's painful. You have to behave like a human being. It has to be emotionally intelligent. It has to be engaging and thoughtful. The people we're training are largely really experienced people. They're high-level professionals. They're not going to tolerate sort of low-level kind of delivery. So what I would say to you is think as much about the delivery as you do the content itself. These things really work together. And I would argue it's true live as well as it is remotely. These things are not different. When people ask us, well, what are you doing differently? I say, well, we're not in the same room, but we're still asking questions of the audience. We're still making jokes as we would live. We're still doing all the things we would normally do in a live way. We use polls and, obviously the chat and things like that a little differently technically, but the energy and the connectivity and the thoughtfulness of the delivery is the same as if we were delivering it live. We've made some adjustments for sure, but I do think that what happens is the moment someone turns on a video, they sort of flatline. They start looking at the slides and reading from the slides and forgetting that you have an audience. We are in the situation we were in for who knows how long. I think that some form of distance learning is going to continue. There will always be this hybrid. There always has been, frankly. I mean, most of my work was all done live, but of course I would do webinars and things like that as clients requested. I think what's important now is for all of us to make sure that just as when we're delivering something live, when we're delivering something remotely, to remember this: it is a privilege to have an audience's attention, and do not waste that privilege. Treat it as such and deliver the highest level content with the most amount of energy and thoughtfulness and quality storytelling as you possibly can. So with that said, I thank you very much. I wish you a very happy Friday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and enjoy those you love. Take good care of yourself and one another.